just 30 minutes away from voting to help fund SNAP benefits for Oklahomans. We're live at the Capitol. Plus, find out why the FAA says this weekend was the worst since the shutdown started, and why the shutdown means the cost of health care for millions could be on the rise. This is OU Nightly. The Trump administration says it will fund half of November SNAP benefits using emergency funds. Thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Emma McAndrews.
And I'm Kevin Daniel. This comes after 2 federal judges ordered the administration to tap into those emergency funds.
At the state capitol, Oklahoma leaders are coming together in the next half hour to vote on a $1 million plan to help fund SNAP. OU Nightly reporter Julia Roberts is live at the Capitol to tell us more about the plan. Julia.
Kevin, Emma, Governor Kevin Stitt, House Speaker Kyle Hilbert, and Senate Pro Tem Lonnie Paxton are meeting at 5 o'clock to vote on a funding bill for food banks across all 77 Oklahoma counties, providing $1 million a week, or providing $1 million to up to 7 weeks. If the plan is approved, then the money will come from the state's emergency funds and become available immediately. That emergency fund currently holds $7.8 million.
If we use state funds, whether that be from our rainy day fund or from other sources, the federal government has said they're not going to reimburse us.
The plan focuses immediate aid for vulnerable elderly, disabled individuals, and children using SNAP. Oklahoma's facing issues with food assistance can visit www.beaneighbor.org to find help in their area. Reporting live outside the Oklahoma State Capitol, I'm Julia Roberts, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Julia. The Federal Aviation Administration says this past weekend marked the worst for air traffic control staffing shortages since the government shutdown began. FAA operations say controllers had to change several operations to keep people safe with fewer working. These changes included rerouting planes or delaying flights. The FAA says there was a mass amount of flight controllers calling out on Halloween.
Another impact of the government shutdown: healthcare costs could be increasing. CNN's Jen Sullivan explains how it could impact your wallet.
The government shutdown is now in its second month. At the center of the battle on Capitol Hill, healthcare subsidies that make insurance more affordable for millions of Americans. Those tax breaks, though, are set to expire. Democrats want to see them extended.
Ripping healthcare away from millions of Americans is unpopular.
More than 24 million people have health insurance through the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare. And roughly 92% of enrollees receive federal tax credits to help lower their monthly costs. Renewing the subsidies would cost $35 billion every year for the next 10 years. Many Republicans say they won't negotiate the subsidies question until enough Democrats approve a spending bill to reopen the government.
Get this thing open. We have shown in good faith that we will do the appropriations process.
Regardless of subsidies, the cost of health insurance through the Affordable Care Act will jump. KFF, a nonprofit focused on health policy, recently looked at monthly costs for healthcare coverage and found ACA insurers are raising premiums by roughly 26% next year. But if you take away subsidies on top of the increases, the costs will be even higher.
We're expecting that on average, premium payments are going to more than double. That's a 114% increase.
KFF says average monthly premium costs could go from $888 to as much as $1,904 in 2026.
I have people who are sitting at home in Massachusetts right now looking at their new healthcare premiums and trying to decide between healthcare and rent.
Federal tax credits are set to expire at the end of the year. I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
According to the Oklahoma Insurance Department, more than 300,000 Oklahomans rely on the Affordable Care Act for their health insurance coverage.
Now, a Harvard Medical School building is reopening after an explosion over the weekend that investigators say appears intentional. OU Nightly's Caroline Kramer has that and the rest of today's national headlines from the News Center.
Good afternoon, Emma. The investigation into the explosion continues, and Harvard police are searching for two people they say are responsible. Saturday morning, a police officer responded to a fire alarm and said these two people were running from the building where the explosion happened.
This happened at 3 o'clock in the morning. There were no students there. And, you know, why were they there at that time in the morning? How did they get access to the building?
The Boston Fire Department determined the explosion inside the medical school building was, in fact, intentional. Authorities did not find additional devices in the sweep of the building. Harvard police say there is no public threat. In Michigan, 2 U.S. citizens appear in court today accused of a foiled ISIS-inspired Halloween attack. Federal investigators charged the 2 men after finding over 1,600 rounds of ammunition, multiple firearms, and tactical vests in their homes and storage units. Authorities say this attack could have been on the same scale of the 2015 Paris attacks that killed 130 people. Kimberly Clark is buying Tylenol in a cash-in-stock deal worth $48.7 billion. This comes after the company refutes claims that its Tylenol painkiller is linked to autism. The combined company will now have a huge variety of household brands, generating around $32 billion in annual revenue. And in Virginia, whoever is elected governor tomorrow will make history as the first female governor in the state. Emma, Kevin.
Thanks, Caroline. Now, these temperatures walking to class felt pretty good today. I mean, I thought it was pretty
I know,
nice
absolutely.
little day.
I love the sun being out there. We're going to head over to OU Nightly meteorologist Aiden Bruns. Aiden, is the sun and these temperatures going to stick around?
Sort of, Kevin, is what I should say. I mean, I know you guys are excited about it. I'm not. I mean, it feels hot. I would love to keep the sweatshirt on, but it's kind of toasty out there. Temperatures across the metro are in the mid-70s, 77 here in Norman, and across the state, a pretty similar story. Lots of 70s, got some 60s up to the north, but it is pretty warm out there, especially from the 60s we were at last week. But overnight tonight, it's still going to be on the cooler side, a little bit above average, but 53 is what we're expecting for a low. But as for the rest of your forecast, we're going to be talking about this warming trend and what it's going to look like, as well as how the winds are going to start to pick up and maybe a cold front coming through later this week.
Thanks, Aiden. The holiday season is approaching as we begin the first week in November.
Ways you can save money on holiday shopping and leave extra money in your wallet coming up.
Many fans had to find new ways to watch their favorite teams last weekend.
What to know about the ongoing dispute between Disney and YouTube TV when we return.
Mom was always organized, but she started forgetting to pay her bills on time.
And she'd buy the same gifts over and over.
Telling the girls about my Alzheimer's diagnosis was really hard.
At first we had our cries, but then we were like, okay, let's make a plan.
Early detection gave us time to adapt together.
It's so important for you to think about what you can do and making the most of what you have.
If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver. And we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
We said we'd never give in to a meltdown.
Mariella!
Never leave the house looking, well, and never let them out of our sight. Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock.
has begun with candidates needing 50% of the total vote to win for OU Student Government Association. The initial SGA election was just too close to call. OU students can vote on OU Engage on Thursday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The candidates each have one word to keep in mind for their campaigns. Matei and Wrench vouch for focus, while Martin and Nicholson want to push for spirit.
More than 1 in 4 shoppers may take on debt this gift buying season. That's according to a new survey by Bankrate. OU Nightly's Madison Dilley has how to save more this fall in today's Money Matters.
Resale and secondhand shopping is going to be a big trend this holiday season. Many thrift stores around the country say the stigma of shopping for used goods is decreasing.
Because value is king with consumers, this is a great way for them to extend their dollar and get more for their money. Secondhand is also a way to sort of cut through the noise of the ordinary and find more unique items, items that tell a story, items that are more personal.
And for other ways to save, take advantage of end of summer clearance sales. Don't wait until Black Friday. The world famous food chain McDonald's is now rounding cash purchases to the nearest 5 cents when customers don't have the exact change. There's a penny shortage as the U.S. Mint stopped making pennies 2 months ago. Companies are running into problems with customers who pay with cash. Customers paying with card are also at McDonald's will not be rounded up 5 cents. Football fans around the country might face some difficulty watching Monday Night Football. With the current contract negotiations between Disney and YouTube TV, ESPN Plus fans will have a hard time streaming services tonight. Channels like Fubo Sports will be showcasing ESPN Plus, however, at higher monthly rates than YouTube TV. Fubo Sports offers a $45 plan for the first month, then $55 after. And gas prices are currently staying around the $2 mark. According to Gas Buddy, Oklahoma City gas prices will be cheaper before the Thanksgiving festivities begin. Kevin, Emma.
Thanks, Madison. President Trump's tariffs are about to be heard by the Supreme Court.
Hear how their decision will impact both American businesses and the nation as a whole.
Students had to trade the jeans and sweatshirt look for shorts and t-shirts today. We'll talk about what this warming trend is going to mean for us here in Norman after the break.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished. Everyone deserves to live a full life. And with your help, together we can end hunger. Join the movement at feedingamerica.org/act now.
Welcome back to OU Nightly and happy Monday, everybody. We're happy to have you here. It's a warmer day for sure out there. Lots of beautiful views across our weather center cam looking up at North Campus here on OU campus. But temperatures are warm, like I said, 77 degrees is what that is right now. Lots of sunshine out there. We've got winds out of the south, so bringing in a little bit of that warmth for us, and we've stayed pretty dry the last few days. But we are about 11 degrees warmer right now than we were at this time yesterday. So that warming trend is kind of a big deal, and it's been like that across most of the state. 12 degrees warmer out in Muskogee. But out in the Northwest, a little bit of a different story. There's a stationary front out there that's left them a pretty chilly up in the Panhandle. So here's what we're tracking as we go into this evening. Still going to be on the cooler side, but definitely above average. We're going to be in the 60s tonight as you're headed out if you've got plans on Campus Corner or anything else. But winds are going to be pretty light as well. Otherwise, across the state, pretty similar to what we've seen the last few nights, but above average. 42 degrees is the Oklahoma City average for this time of year, and we're going to be in the 50s, so a little bit warmer, but still cooler for that means. But as you head out tomorrow, it's going to be a little bit similar to today. We're seeing highs around 75 degrees in the afternoon, but also remember that the sun is coming up earlier, so we start to warm up a little bit earlier too, and that sun is going down much sooner as well. Otherwise, across the state, we're seeing 70s, almost 80s out towards the west. We've 79 in Lawton. So warm, like I said, that's pretty much the story the next couple of days, but it's going to be a little bit windy tomorrow as well. Here's kind of how the wind gusts are tracking out. As we head into tomorrow, we're looking at wind gusts getting into the 20 to 30 mile per hour range out of the south, which is really going to bring in some of that heat for us. And as we go into the next few days, we do have a low pressure system that's going to move right over Oklahoma, which is why we have this curving pattern for our winds. So some people are going to see winds out of the northeast. Otherwise, the southern part of the state is going to see winds out of the south, but still on the breezy side. And that's going to continue into Thursday as well. 25 miles per hour for those wind gusts for us. So make sure you've got a hair tie, girls, because it's going to be breezy out there. But as we look at October, it's been a very above average month that we had. We didn't get that hard cold front until the end of the month. And as we head into the first week of November, we're looking at warmer temperatures. So getting right back up there, we are in the above average trend for the next 6 to 10 days for your temperature outlook. But the 7-day forecast, I hate to say it kind of looks boring. Lots of sun, 70s, not really normal for the first week of November, guys. So how are we feeling about this?
I'm excited. I'll need to get the hair tie ready. Kevin, I don't think you're going to need a hair tie.
No, probably won't. But no, definitely make the most of it.
Right.
Well, if things going to cool down
It's usually
quickly.
like 40 degrees, so this is definitely off topic for us.
For sure. Thank you, Aiden. The Supreme Court is to hear arguments about President Trump's tariffs case in just a matter of days. This case will discuss the lawfulness of the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. This act gives the president certain powers on imposing tariffs in a national emergency setting. Earlier this year, President Trump imposed tariffs using the act as high as 145% on Chinese goods. Trump has made it clear that if the Supreme Court decides against him, the U.S. government will need to spend billions of dollars to reimburse companies for the tariffs they have already paid. And coming up in sports, one former Sooner made his way back to OKC, but this time in a different shade of red.
And 2 OU squads are lacing up for a doubleheader to open up their seasons.
Kevin, one of those teams is in action right now. And 2 OU football players performed so well this weekend that the SEC decided to hand each of them an award for their efforts against the Volunteers. I'll have all that and more next in sports.
You've done the hard part. You quit smoking. Now do the easy part and get scanned for lung cancer. If you smoked, you may still be at risk, but early detection could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
All right, look at you taking the stairs. Who are you?
We're your lungs. We are proud of you for quitting smoking, but you still may be at risk for lung cancer.
A routine cancer scan can detect it early when it's more curable. Good to know. Well, I gotta go somewhere.
So do we.
Listen to your lungs. Get a routine screening that could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Food isn't just fuel to live, it's fuel to grow. My family relied on public assistance to help provide meals for us. These meals fueled my involvement in theater and the arts as a child, which fostered my love for acting. The Feeding America network of food banks helps millions of people put food on the table. When people are fed, futures are nourished. Join the movement to end hunger, and together we can open endless possibilities for people to thrive. Visit feedingamerica.org/actnow.
There are a lot of temptations facing young people today, like electronic cigarettes and skateboarding. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes. This can lead today's youth to a lifelong addiction and severe lung damage. Recall and consider the facts before making a poor decision.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
I'm Chris Holman, and it's time for sports. The last time Oklahoma traveled to Knoxville, OU fans witnessed some Sooner magic. OU Nightly's Cam Williams was in Neyland Stadium on Saturday to see if that Sooner magic was still there 10 years later.
In 2015, Baker Mayfield and the Sooners came into Neyland Stadium and stole a win in a double overtime thriller. Fast forward 10 years and the Sooners do the same thing in a win, this time with the help of all three phases, making crucial plays.
Yeah, I mean, our Mason's a great player, and who's Owen with the strip sack, right? I mean, just defense making plays obviously helps. It's a team game, and we didn't run a whole lot of plays, but we got it done as a team.
It was the offense, defense, and special teams that contributed to this win at Neyland Stadium Saturday night. And under Brent Venables, the Sooners are 20-2 when winning the turnover margin, but he's just proud of his group.
Just keep playing. You know, not everything's going to go right. Just keep playing. Just play the next play. And, you know, our guys were, you know, showed the maturity and able, you know, the ability to be able to do that. No, man, we're fine. Calm down. Kind of like the national championship. And our whole deal was to play cover two in the freaking first play of the game. Man, they throw a whole shot. Man, they go right down the field. And, man, don't panic. We're going to be just fine.
And the Sooners were just fine as they relied on SEC Special Teams Player of the Week, Tate Sandell, who drilled 3 50-yard field goals, tying a Neyland Stadium record.
It's on to the next week. You know, I know it sounds very repetitive, but you know that's my job. It's very repetitive. You know, we're not going to be hung over on this game. You know, we got to roll into Tuscaloosa here in about 2 weeks, and it's going to be the exact same environment.
Like Sandell said, the next test is in Tuscaloosa in 2 weeks. Reporting from Neyland Stadium, Cam Williams, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Cam. Tate Sandell was 4 for 4 on field goals against Tennessee, including 3 of 51 yards or more, and was named SEC Special Teams Player of the Week for the second time this season. He's now the only kicker in school history with 4 career field goals of at least 55 yards. And Owen Heineke made his first career start against the Volunteers and racked up a team-leading and career-high 13 tackles, which included the strip sack that led to the R. Mason Thomas touchdown, earning himself SEC Defensive Player of the Week. Kansas City wide receiver Hollywood Brown racked up 73 yards on just 2 catches against the Bills, but that wasn't enough as Buffalo took down the Chiefs 28-21. Caleb Williams threw for 280 yards and 3 touchdowns and had 2 catches for 22 yards and a score in the Bears' dramatic 47-42 win over the Bengals. OU basketball is back in the Lloyd Noble Center as both the men's and women's teams open up their regular seasons tonight in a doubleheader. The men's team tips off against St. Francis at 7:30, and the women are currently up 22-13 on Belmont. Sahara Williams is entering her junior season with OU women's basketball and knows how her role on the team has changed.
I think it's kind of natural, but it's also kind of flattering to see how people look up to you and how people view you, and just understanding how important I am to this team. Even if I'm not scoring, passing, I could be on the sideline and just my voice, like, I can just have that impact on them. So it's a privilege to be able to have girls that look up to you in that way.
Jeremiah Fears made his return to Oklahoma on Sunday, but this time with the New Orleans Pelicans. Fears had 16 points and 4 assists, but that wasn't enough as Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had 30 points and 7 assists, and Aaron Wiggins put up 15 points in a 137-106 win for the Thunder. Kevin, Emma.
Thanks, Chris. If you've been craving a sandwich lately, today is the day to go out and get it.
It's National Sandwich Day, and we'll tell you the spots with the best deals to satisfy your stomach and your wallet coming up after the break.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
Did you know that trash, like plastic bottles and fast food wrappers, can carry germs and bacteria? When these items are tossed in the street, they eventually find their way to a river or lake and have a negative impact on aquatic life. Keep our waters clean by putting your trash in the bin. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater. Did you know that items like paint, cleaning solutions, pesticides, solvents, and other chemicals are considered household hazardous waste? These chemicals are dangerous to our environment and water quality when they are dumped in our storm drains or gutters. Fortunately, the City of Norman has a dedicated household hazardous waste facility where you can properly dispose of these items. Call 405-366-5463 to make an appointment. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater. Water is our most precious resource and something that should be conserved and used wisely. Here is a water conservation tip you can try. In the bathroom, turn off the water while you brush your teeth. You'll save about 4 gallons per minute. That comes out to about 200 gallons a week for a family of 4. Water is life. This message was brought to you by the City of Norman.
I'm Andrew Paredes at the OU Nightly Update Desk following the Fund to Vote Oklahoma food banks during the federal government shutdown. Here's a live look inside the state capitol as Governor Kevin Stitt, Senator Pro Tem Lonnie Paxton, and Speaker of the House Kyle Hilbert will soon vote on releasing emergency state funds. The vote, if passed, will release $1 million per week to help fund food banks in all 77 counties for the next 7 weeks. That's just under $13,000 per county per week. Emma, Kevin, back to you guys.
Thanks, Andrew. We'll keep you updated on if that vote passes. Now, if you don't feel like cooking dinner tonight, you can score some deals for National Sandwich Day around Norman.
Yeah, most deals are buy one, get one discounted. Notably, at Subway, Rewards members can buy 1 footlong and get the second one for $1. Jimmy John's Rewards members can use the code TOASTED for 50% off 1 toasted sandwich. And at Firehouse Subs, you'll get a free medium sandwich for ordering $15 or more.
Well, guys, I'm definitely going to get a sandwich after this, so.
That sounds so good. I think that needs to be my dinner tonight.
Yes, for sure. So if I'm going out for that sandwich, what do I need to look out for?
Honestly, nothing crazy. I mean, the temperatures are going to be warm. Sunny skies, clear skies tonight, it should be, but we're going to be in the 70s the rest of this week until we get a cold front later in the week, which will bring back those fall-like temperatures, putting us right around average. But high pressure is really going to be dominating this week. We're going to be pretty dry, so nothing crazy to look out for. So definitely go get a free sandwich or a deal on a sandwich this week.
I will. Thanks, Aiden. And thank you for watching OU Nightly. I'm Emma McAndrews.
And I'm Kevin Daniel. Be sure to watch OU Nightly live weekdays at 4:30. Good night.
Water is our most precious resource